The dictionary defines freak as to behave or cause to behave in a wild and irrational way, typically because of the effects of extreme emotion. Welcome to the Freak Show. For freaks, by a freak. No matter what it is in life you want to be, a lead freak, a sales freak, a marketing freak, a book freak, a health freak, we're going to get you obsessed and 100% committed. Let's get freaky. Welcome to the Freak Show with Aiden R.I.G.G. Rid.
All right, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. So today we are going to look at the next tactic number 20, lead scoring. Now, there are some different ways to look at lead scoring, and you could even call it a few things. I think what it is measuring data, and it's giving us analytics and information based on the behavior of your prospects and or customers. So look at it and think of it like this, because I like to equate things in the dating world, because we've all in the dating world, and it has some similarity of being unfamiliar with somebody, meeting them, and ultimately, marrying them, and correlate to becoming a customer. So when we look at lead scoring, we correlate it to the dating world. It's like getting feedback from all your friends and her friends. So let's say you're dating her, and she's friends with your buddy's girlfriend, as an example. Well, she's going to be talking to your buddy's girlfriend, her best friend, and the girlfriend's going to tell your buddy what she's saying about you. And so you're getting feedback, and so you know kind of where she is at mentally as far as liking you. So it makes you feel better, makes you feel more confident. It makes you maybe even a little bit more excited and enthusiastic about taking it to the next step, because you have some information that is letting you know that your likelihood of success, your likelihood of getting a yes for the next step is enhanced. Now, she might not know you know this, because she's just just in the initial stages of dating you, but she's telling her friend, you're getting that data back. So that's kind of like lead scoring. You're doing things, sending content, information, emails, and things to your prospects, and they are responding, and you're getting that information back. And most of the time, they don't realize that that's what's happening. And so you are allowed and able to measure their current state of mind. You're able to measure their current comprehension of you and your business and your content. So there's a few things we want to address and understand it. So when we send a prospecting email out or a nurture email out, what happens is we know if they open up an email. Okay, we know if they open it. But that's where a lot of programs stop. And we need to dig deeper. We need more data. We need more information. So how do we do that? Well, there's a few ways. The number one way and most popular way is lead scoring. So if we take a look at the program here, so if we go into lead scoring, what we're going to notice here is that we go right into our program here, and there's a little tab called lead scoring. So if we go into lead scoring, it allows us to start creating rules, so to speak, on what that prospect does. Now, there is no right or wrong to the scoring that you choose. So What do I mean by that? Well, let's look at some of the things that they might do, your prospect, when you send something to them. Okay, when you send an email to them, they might read it. They might click it, right? They might click the link in there. They might forward it. They might partake in a survey if you ask them to. Okay, so those are things that they might do. They might click a link. They might read it. They might watch a video. They might do these various things. And you put a score to it. And so, you put a score to if they read it. So as an example, maybe you give them 5 points for reading an email, but you give them 10 points for clicking it, for clicking the email and clicking into it and looking at the white paper or the link or whatever it might be. Okay. Or they take it and forward it to a friend. So maybe you give them 5 points for forwarding it to a friend. So if they forward it to 3 friends or 3 coworkers, it's 5 points per forward. So they're getting 15 points. So that one prospect, you send them an email, they read it, 5 points. They click the link, 10 points. They're now at 15 points. They forward it to 3 friends. That's now 15 points. That prospect is at 30 points with that one email. Now compare that to you send it to prospect B, and he or she only reads the email. So they get 5 points. So when you compare the 2 prospects, which one are you going to call? You're going to be more likely and more comfortable calling the prospect, reaching out to the prospect, making an outbound action to the prospect. You're going to feel more comfortable reaching out to the person that has 30 points than the person that has 5 points. Now, we're talking about and using the example of one email. What about the 8 that you've sent in the prospecting campaign in the journey? And what about the weekly content you're sending out to them every week in the lead nurture campaign? Right? These people are going to start to accumulate more data. They're going to start to accumulate more points, right? And we can start to use the program to help us guide and know which prospects to call. And we simply can do that once we have our lead scoring rules in place by simply going to the program and creating a list. We simply go to the list. In LeadFreak, it's called the hot list. You pick the group. Let's say it's dentists or veterinarians or whoever you're sending out the emails to. You're going to say over the last 12 hours, 36 hours, 2 days, 21 days, 8 weeks. So let's use 8 weeks as the example. And and then, we're going to see how many points have they gained over the last 8 weeks. And we're not interested in looking or prospecting to anybody that has not scored at least, let's say, 50 points. So we click the 50 points and we click create the list. Okay, so show us the list. And the list is now being formulated, and we are finding that we have a whole list of people here. If I go right down to the bottom to look at the list, in this example, we have 341 contacts that have reached 50 points or more in the last 8 weeks. And the top of our list in this example is 602. Okay, and that's the number one, and the 341st has 50.8 points. So these people are at different levels of their engagement and interest in what they're doing. But let's just take a look at one of these contacts. So we can click into their profile, and we can look, and we can see that they have scored so many points. We can see what they've done. So if we go on this one, we can see that the last email we sent them, there was 4 reads. Okay, the one before that, there was 3 reads. The one before that was 4 reads. The one before that was 2 reads. The one before that was 3 reads. So in this example, this person is engaged in almost everything we do and are sending them. When we reach out to them, either through in the next step, that we'll cover in the next tactic, then our likelihood of success and engagement is elevated because we have done this. Now, the other thing we can do with lead scoring and metrics is we can simply share a piece of content, of code, and you can simply drop a line of code into your website, which takes no more than a few minutes. And we take this piece of code here and we drop it into the website, into your website. And this is going to show us if your prospect leaves your email and checks out your website. And, were they on email on your website? How long were they on your website? How long were they on your pricing page? Or how long were they on the various pages? This is going to allow us to give us some data on understanding what the prospect is doing, where they might be in their familiarity and comfortability with us as an organization. Okay. The last thing we can do is we can simply just go to tracking the emails that we have done. So we can just simply do a quick little list by going to the email that we last sent. It's called track email. We'll go to the email, and we can simply see in this example that it went out to 491 people 2 days ago. We click it, we hit summary, and there we have that out of those 439, we had 491, we had 39.6% open, or 194 recipients opened up the email. So that gives us a list of 194 people that have expressed interest and micro commitments from just the last email. Then we can look and say, okay, we had 4.1% of the 39.6% click. So we had 8 recipients actually click and do an even deeper micro commitment. So this gives us the list of people that we can call. There's 8 here based on the last email. We can either call the 39.6 or the 194 people that opened the email, because there's definitely a level of interest there. We can reach out to them through a personal email, what have you. We'll get into that in the next tactic. Or the low-hanging fruit, the people that are most interested are going to be the people that clicked and watched what we gave them in the last email. So we have 8 very warm leads here. Now, there's a difference. There's a difference between someone that has opened up this one email, which is what we're doing by looking at who read the last email, compared to lead scoring and seeing what their score is over a long period of time, over the last 8 weeks or over the last 12 weeks, right? So as we decide whether to look at the lead scoring or whether or not they opened and clicked the last email, we can make a decision on either way on which prospects are best for us to call. Which prospects have clicked the links, download the ebooks, watch the webinar, whatever micro commitments we're asking them to make, we're putting a mathematical score to their behavior, and we're calling the people, reaching out to the people through text message, personal email, or phone call, which we'll get into in the next tactic. And we move now from a cold lead to someone that is sales ready. Hope you found this of value. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. And until then, please like, share, and let people know about the program, about the show. Thank you.
You've been listening to The Freak Show. Our passion is to help people recognize that they can, be, have, or do whatever they want. But it takes drive. You gotta be a freak. Aiden was homeless on welfare, got his GED, went to business school, and has a freakish drive that's propelling him to success he couldn't have dreamt of. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review, and we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hit the website at www.aidenrig.com and hit us up on all the socials at AidenRig, RIGG. See you next time, you freak.